Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest hasn't been here in far too long. Not only is she fantastic on the show, she's a fantastic friend to the majority of us who work on the show, and she's now on a show that I am absolutely obsessed with. She's in a show called Doom Patrol, and I love it, and I love her. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Julie McNiven!
If you got something to say, put it on the end of the stage. Everyone has to say. You got something to say, put it on the end of the stage. Everyone has to say. Got something to say.
Julie McNiven, how are you? Try the microphone. I'm going to go old school and say talk into it.
I don't know how to do this, guys.
You know, Julie, we've known each other for a while,
Yeah.
and my very first convention, my memory in Chicago, for me, was my first convention,
yes,
and
I
I
think
came
I
down and I waited to come on stage for my panel, and I'm looking up at the screens backstage,
Yeah.
you were in reverse, at your panel.
I remember seeing you. You were really nervous.
Super nervous, sweating.
Yes.
But yeah,
Actually, I remember. I'm like, wow, Rob is really sweaty.
Yeah. Oh, the sweaty kid?
The new guy is really sweaty.
Yeah.
Back then, he didn't have the confidence or clarity to come up with a rhyme like snozz it.
That's right. That only would happen in 2019. Speaking of sweating. Anyway.
She's in a Loud and Swaying music video.
Yeah, that's why we just sang
I
that
know,
song.
but I'm drawing the correlation to people who might not know that.
She is. She's in a Loud and Swing music video for the song Something to Say.
Yeah, we were babies then.
Yep, and we played Boyfriend Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sweaty babies.
We were really sweaty.
We were super sweaty. And
You guys, it's funny because I literally don't sweat.
It's you and Robert Robinson's.
Okay, I sweat a little, but not much.
Note to self, sanitize that microphone. You go to the armpit and just grab the mic again.
Smells like
come out with
roses.
tongs and take that thing from you. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Julie
Wait, so
McNiven.
you guys leave now?
Yeah, we do.
For real?
Yeah, you don't want us
We don't want to
here.
be here. We'll just do what we're doing now, which is ruin everything.
No. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, everyone. Hi. You guys having fun? Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, I don't really remember. What am I supposed to do?
Talk.
Do I just start talking?
Yes.
I truly don't remember. I thought people asked me questions, so I'm just supposed to. What?
They do that too.
Okay, but now first I just
Tell us about
tell us
yourself.
what I'm been up to in the last 5 years. Okay. So I think the last con I did, gosh, I think it was in like 2013 or something, maybe? It was a while ago. I had a baby.
Ooh.
Oh, hey! Yes, I made a baby.
Woo!
And he's 4 now. So basically, I've been doing a lot of momming. And then some guest stars and movies and Doom Patrol, and it's been fun. But I'm super excited to be back in the con world and to see you guys again. What?
Hold the mic down.
Oh, sorry. Like this? Is that better? I'm like I'm singing.
Play dick.
Sorry. Yeah. So, do you want to hear more about Doom Patrol, or do you want to hear about Supernat? Yes? Okay. Look, raise your hand if you've seen it, or if you have. Okay, so not that many people. Cool. It's on the DC Universe app. It's Jeremy Carver, who's the head creator and writer. There's a bunch of supernatural people on it. Mark Shepard's on it. Julian Richings. I'm sure, as hopefully a season 2 comes soon, that more supernatural people will probably be on it, just because that happens when you go from one show to another show. Take people with you. And I think there's a lot of crossover writers too, so very similar in the idea that like anything can happen, which is so fun. It's kind of what I like most about working on sci-fi. It can be so weird and wonderful and bizarre, and it would never work on any other show, but it works on Supernatural and it works on Doom Patrol, so they have that in common. It also has like a very, I think, kind of like a Doctor Who feel to it, if there are any Doctor Who fans. Okay, yeah, me too, I love it. Yeah, I need to catch up, I'm really behind. But having a baby really slowed down my TV watching. Yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. I did 5 episodes. I actually just came back from doing one more for the season, and then hopefully they find out in the next couple weeks if there's a season 2. So yeah. So let's get to those questions, guys. Give me something to talk about. Or I should say, give me something to say. Right? No, okay.
You don't have to say anything, you're just beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Anyway, one of my all-time favorite episodes, Heaven and Hell.
Yes.
You and Dean. Yeah. It's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful scene from the very first moment when you say that my last night on Earth, and he goes, "You're stealing my lines," and then you. How was that? It was an amazing season.
Did you actually do it?
I feel like it may have been better for you. But that's partly because shooting a sex scene in Hollywood is not at all sexy or romantic. It's like they took the car apart and for like 4 or 5 hours from multiple angles, just making out. It's not. I'm so glad that it came off looking the way it did, and every single sex scene that an actor has is just as awkward and weird as the one before, and the one that will be next.
It's not really about the sex, it was the beautiful emotion you choose.
I'm sorry, I should have
to put
said
out.
the emotional connection that
It
you
was
saw.
beautiful, yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, hi.
Hi. I wanted to sell everyone on Doom Patrol. I was explaining to.
I mean, it's really fucking good.
It's
You
like-
guys, you
yeah.
guys like Supernatural, you will like Doom
It's-
Patrol. It is, I'd be shocked if you liked only one of the two.
It's very weird and very funny and very sad. also.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
exactly.
an entire town gets sucked into a donkey.
Into a donkey, guys.
Yeah. In the second episode.
I was in the donkey too.
Oh. And so I'm wondering, can you talk about working with Matt Bomer? His
Yeah.
character is so interesting. Yeah,
Yes.
everyone just gasped. Yeah, Matt Bomer's on it. He plays
Yes,
like,
Matt Bomer is an incredible actor, first of all. And he's so nice and so welcoming. I will say the first time we went to set, the trailers were parked down the street from the house that we were shooting in. And he came to it was like our first date. He came to my door and, because we usually, someone comes and collects us and brings us to set. And he took my hand and he held my hand and we walked to set. And it may sound silly, but him being who he is and kind of the work he has under his belt and the status he holds on that set, it was incredibly welcoming and made whatever nerves I had kind of just go away. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. Like, cool, I can do this now.
Did you get to work with Alan Tudyk at all? Because he's
I'm sorry, say-
Alan Tudyk, Mr. Nobody. He's fantastic too. So.
He's so good on the show. I don't have any scenes with him. I know, well, I guess I don't want to ruin it for y'all, but
Because you're mostly in flashbacks.
I'm mostly in, either in like actually in 1961, or I'm used in kind of like dream sequence, like in someone's mind. It's weird. Or sometimes I'm in a donkey's butt.
Really, guys, watch the show. It's totally worth it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
In the heated Impala scene, Anna puts her hand on Castiel's handprint. Is there any meaning as to why she did that?
I'm sure there was. Do you guys remember? Why did I do that? That was a really strong acting choice I made. Really? No, there was. Maybe because I was, no, did I know that I was an angel then? Yeah. I don't remember, guys, it was so long ago. But the funny thing that I do remember about that, which just goes to show how weird those scenes are, is that the director, so it was kind of like a closed set, right? So only the people that had to be there were there. But then the video village and the director were like way on the other side of the set, and all I hear throughout the whole, there's a walkie-talkie in the car, and the director is literally walking you through a softcore porn. So it's like, okay, so just go in for a kiss. Good, okay, yeah. And pull back and just gaze into his eyes. No, okay. Yeah, now reach down and put your hand right on the handprint. Good. Take a deep sigh. I mean, seriously, guys. That's what it was. But if anyone really remembers, please raise your hand and we can actually talk about it. Does anyone remember what the significance was? Is it just that I'm becoming an angel and I'm connecting with that? Yes.
Like it was like you touching the angelic bits of him. Like
Right.
Just realizing you're an angel, so that's just a little more divinity.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly why I did it. Thank you for reminding me. It wasn't at all because he said, great, now reach your hand down, put it right over, right on the mark, great.
Thank you. I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to say that you're really pretty too.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my question is, what is your favorite scene to shoot and favorite episode to shoot of Supernatural?
Okay, that's an easy one. Sorry, guys. It wasn't the sex scene. It was the fight scene with Amy Gumenick. I had so much fun. I don't get to do a lot of fight scenes. And so this was something we like rehearsed for days and met with the fight choreographer, and it was like a decent, minute-long or 2-minute-long fight sequence. It was so fun to shoot. And I kind of got like a bestie out of it. Amy and I met on that episode, and she's one of my best friends. So it's kind of an extra perk of the job, I guess. But yeah, that was such a fun episode. Yeah, it's kind of an extra perk of Supernatural in general, I'm seeing, right? You meet some amazing women and men, but more women.
Yeah.
There's more of us.
Mine would be anytime you work with Castiel, aka Misha Collins.
Yep, those were really fun too. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it was for that too, kind of a flash of what we used to be like 2,000 years ago, like our dynamic up in heaven, which was kind of fun to play around with because it was totally made up backstory. We weren't given like much information on that, so. How cool would that flashback see?
Thank you.
Like 2,000 years ago, heaven. And then it's now. So then and now would be the biggest then and now that they've ever done. Hi.
Hi, are you aware of what the empty is?
I'm
In
sorry.
the show right now? The empty is where angels go when they die. My question is,
Yes.
if Anna were to wake up from the empty, 'cause it's kind of unstable right now, what would she do, you think? Or do you know what's going on in the show right now?
So to be honest, I took about a 6-year grieving period. I did, for real. This job did so much for me in so many ways. And then I died, and then they brought me back, and then I died again. And so I took some time away to recover from that. And it sounds so corny, but it's true. You fall in love sometimes. You fall in love with the characters you play, and you really miss them when you don't get to play them anymore. And I do. I miss both parts of Anna, to be honest. I miss, the human part, and I miss the angel part. What was the question?
If she were to wake up...
Oh, right. So when I did some binging recently, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back in. So around Christmas time, I started season 12. Or I guess started season 12 when Sam came back. When I saw that episode with the empty, I was like, I'm there. That's where I am, that place that is nothing. So I totally do think I would be there, right? The only thing is, and maybe they didn't establish this when I died, when I turned into ash, but usually when an angel dies, they get the black wings, right?
Yes.
I didn't get any black wings, right? So I don't know. Maybe they established that plot after my death. I don't know, but I definitely don't have black wings. So maybe I'm not in the empty. Maybe I'm just a pile of fucking ash in 1979 in the, battered house, and I have no idea. I kind of assume that maybe it just wasn't established then, so I'm probably in the empty. But at least it gives more possibilities. Thank you. Maybe I exist in both places. I don't know. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Julie. So I was admiring your shirt, and so I just wanted to ask what you're thankful for today.
You. You. Absolutely. I thought this shirt was really appropriate for today and with the announcement last week. This show has given me a lot of friends, and a lot of meeting all of you guys, a lot of travel. It's a lot of other work. So it's a very, very special job for me. So yes, that's what this means.
Hello.
Hi.
Just to answer your question, the Black Wings was established in the episode with Uriel before Anna showed up.
For real?
Yeah.
You guys, I'm not dead. I am not dead. Where am I though? Like, am I just Ash?
That I don't know. I'm not in tune with the writers that much.
What would happen? But what would happen? Okay, let's just play this out. What would happen? Okay, if an angel dies and does not get the wings, do they just go back into heaven jail? Like where I was before that at the beginning of that episode, I had just escaped or been released from heaven jail.
My hypothesis is that they would still be in the empty. They just didn't have necessarily that send-off. But my question is my question is with the twisted storyline that Anna has, where she starts off so innocent and becomes not necessarily not innocent, but just very twisted. How early on was that told to you, and how did you kind of prepare for that storyline?
I knew with the callback that I turned into an angel, because I think by the end of the second episode, Originally that was the end of my story. So it was just going to be 2 episodes. And then I guess she turns into an angel and she eats her. By the way, my grace is bigger than anyone else's grace. Do you remember how big my grace was? Grace nowadays is like a little sliver from the neck. My grace went into my mouth. I swallowed my grace. It did not come from this hole in my throat. But anyway, we weren't talking about how big my grace was. But now we are. What was the question?
How early on you knew about the character arc and how you prepared?
So I just knew about that little part, turning into an angel, and then on my last day of shooting episode 12, the second episode, I got a call that they were pinning me for episode 16. So I knew that she was, an angel, and then she was going to have some part of the storyline. But I didn't know anything about, when I ended up, as you all say, like going bad for accidentally killing Sam for like 2 minutes. He was fine. I didn't know about that. That was a surprise. So that originally, I was supposed to be in the first episode of season 5. And I was supposed to have this whole storyline where I'm pissed off at Castiel and I'm taking revenge on him and I'm like chasing him, but I'm in the shadows. That's all I know, right? And then a couple days before we were supposed to fly out and shoot, they were like, Julie, I'm so sorry. Like, we just have too much for this episode. We have to cut your storyline. So I cried. No, well, yeah, I probably did. But, and then they were like, we'll figure out a way, you're gonna come back. We just don't know how. And so that resulted in the going back in time scene and doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. So my question is kind of very much so related to that question. But in a show where they seem to like to throw around the rules of morality, Cass is an angel of God, but yet the angels are dicks, and then Cass becomes evil. You were the first character that we saw that was like, oh, it's Anna, she's so sweet, and oh, it's Anna and Dean in the car. And then, 10 episodes later, we're like, what in the hell, we want to kill you. How did it feel like through the fandom, or just yourself in the acting of the role? What was that like to be the first person to go from, lawful good to, well, still lawful good, but being on the evil side of that?
Okay, so I think the best way to answer that is from an acting perspective. So when you're playing like a so-called bad guy, you're not playing a bad guy. You're playing someone who has flaws and someone who's damaged and someone who's human or other. Someone who has a reason for their behavior, right? So in working out how I'm going to play this episode, all of a sudden I go back in time and I'm trying to kill their parents and I'm trying to kill them. So for me, it wasn't like, holy shit, she just like went crazy, because that's judging your character, which as an actor is like probably the worst thing to do, because then you're judging them instead of playing an authentic portrayal of them. So for me, it was, well, fuck, the universe is ending. If I cannot stop Sam and Dean from being born, everything's gone. So my duty right now as an angel, as someone who wants everyone else on the planet to exist, is to go back in time and to kill their parents, and they'll be gone, and it's done. So it wasn't about me turning bad, and that's why I kind of joke that like everyone's like, oh, we loved Anna until she went evil. And I'm like, okay, well, I was gonna save the world, but whatever. And then I remember, so when, what was it, season 12, when they had the other world, right?
World, yeah.
Where Mary finds out that, fuck, wasn't it like, oh, the boys were never born, and it still went bad. And then that was the first time that I was like, oh, maybe I did fuck up. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to kill them because it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. But I didn't know that at the time. So.
Well, thank you all. Enjoy that episode more the next time I rewatch it for the 1,000th time.
Thank you. Oh, hi again, over here.
Hello. I have a question for you and not about Anna. It's kind of weird, but go with me.
All right.
Bath or shower?
Wait, but I don't know, what you said?
Are you a bath person or a shower person?
A bath or shower? Shower.
All right.
Shower, 100%. I don't like baths. At all. Like, not at all. I don't even like sauna, like, I don't even like hot tubs.
Okay.
I like water, but I just don't like sitting in hot water. No interest in it.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That's the question?
All right. Thank you.
Hi. I just meant to ask if there was a role, either like past or in the future, that you could play, what would it be?
I couldn't tell you a specific like character, but I think the reason why, besides the obvious reasons why I loved working on this show, I think the reason why I really feel a lot of connection and love for Anna is because I usually do play more of the innocent victim, right? Because of the way I look. And we tend, especially in Hollywood, to be judged on the way we look. And my energy doesn't come off as someone who could kick your ass most of the time. So I think what made her so fun to play was that I got to do both. I got to be the person whose world was just, exploding and she couldn't find any footing, to a woman or an angel who found her footing and felt powerful and in control and could kick some ass and be in charge. And so I think for me that transition is really powerful, and it parallels growing up. It parallels, shifts in you as a woman or as becoming a mother, or it's very relatable, and I would love to explore that more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Before I ask this question, I want to verify, are you caught up to where we are in the show or not?
I did not see last week's episode, but
Okay,
I am
you're
caught up.
enough. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So since we've established that you might possibly be alive, if Anna were to come back next year and she met Jack as an angel, how do you think she would view Jack and what's happened with heaven?
I think, considering her history in heaven from, ages ago, I think that she would be cautious. I think she would have empathy and compassion for him, but I think she would be really cautious and not totally trust him, because he's unexpected and he doesn't have control of himself.
Do you think she would probably try to train him maybe a bit more than Cass has? As far as angel powers.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why Cass hasn't been more. Is he just tired? No, I mean I don't. Yeah.
We don't know either why Cass keeps going weird ways with his power.
Yeah, I mean I think she would want to help, but I think she'd be very, very cautious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. So traditionally, angels, like for example, Castiel's traditionally referred to as like Thursday's angel or the guardian of tears and solitude. What do you think your character should have been the angel of, like either as a guardian or a day or like occupation?
So I remember talking about this years ago, and I think I just assumed that I was Aniel. And then Danielle came on the show, and she was like, "I'm Aniel." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know who I am now. I don't know, and I don't know if they planned on, because they didn't plan on me coming back after 2 episodes. It was something that was kind of, maybe they did, but they certainly didn't tell me that. Like, I was just 2 episodes at Yearbook 4 and then you're dead, or in heaven, or whatever. So I have no idea. And I'm thinking about the journey of the character. I mean, she does, in her own way, just want peace. She just wants people not to be dying. She doesn't want the universe ending. So, and she was doing things to prevent it from ending. And her relationship with Cass was kind of like an older sister being like, okay, you're an adult now. So you need to make your own choices and you need to make your own decisions and you can do this. I'm not gonna do this for you anymore. So I feel like she is kind of like a team leader, kind of, let's save the world. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think I would be?
Well, what you just said, I kind of go, you know, the older sibling, guardian of older siblings, or look out for those, so.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, definitely a badass, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see more of that, if that ever happens. That would be fun. Hi.
Hi. My question was, with everything that's going on, if Anna were to come back, what do you think her storyline or purpose would be?
You know what? I think, not that I ever spent any time thinking about this, guys. I think it would, I mean, you could go in so many different directions, but I'd be curious to see if she somehow came back as Anna and not as an angel. Like as if they pulled her from time and she had existed on a different timeline normally with her normal life and never had these, or she's like in the hospital still, you know? She's been in there for like 10 years. She's old and she hears voices in her head still. So she's on all these drugs and then she comes off the drugs and, you know, I don't know. I feel like there's so many, what I love about this show too is there's like literally so many directions you could go in that would all be interesting. I mean, it would be cool to also come out of the empty and you know, well, when Michael was the problem, and I'm watching, I'm binging it, and I'm going, what the fuck? I want to fucking kill Michael. Like, come on, guys. Like, he killed me. I want to kill him now. Not that revenge is a good thing. But, you know, I could have seen her come back out of nowhere and taking care of him, too. So, I don't know. What do you think? What would you want to see?
It'd be cool to see her sort of get a, not better ending, but like more wrapped up and good for her. That isn't just her getting killed off.
Yeah.
Because she's causing a problem. Like if she got to redo things with Cass and everything, that would be cool.
That would be cool. It would be cool actually to explore a little bit of their history because they alluded to it often, but not in specifics. So that would be kind of cool. Thank you.
Hi. Obviously your role of Anna is fantastic, but I wanted to ask you about your role as Hildy on Mad Men and working for Matthew Weiner, and what was that experience like to work on a show set in that time period and as accurate as he is about doing anything. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, that was an incredible experience. I played Hildy for 3 years on the first 3 seasons of Mad Men. And that show, so I didn't have, a lot to do each week, but I would come to set and I'd work about 1 day a week, and I would wear like full head to toe 1960s. Like, I'm pretty sure they gave me underwear. Like, guys, it was for real. Like, very accurate to the time. The pointy pads for the boobs. It's basically the same thing for Doom Patrol, with very much like, I feel like I'm back on Mad Men a little bit, with the garters and the everything. And Matt is a brilliant writer, director, creator, so I felt it was pretty, I don't think I knew how cool it was actually until after. But yeah, that was an incredible experience working with amazing actors, and it was my first recurring. It was what brought me out to LA from New York. So I remember, I would come out, I flew out the first season for each episode I was in, because I still lived in New York at the time, and I just remember renting the car for Burbank Airport and driving to my boyfriend's parents' house, who lived in Pasadena, to stay with them, and I'd see the palm trees, and I was just like, wow, I'm fucking doing it. Like, it was just so exciting. And sometimes I look up at the palm trees now and I feel sad, because that feeling, it's not like I don't appreciate everything and I don't love my life or anything. It's just, it's hard to recapture that first feeling of you're doing what you love and you just feel so grateful about it. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I was wondering how you liked working on Code Black.
Oh yeah, Code Black was awesome. That was my first gay role. I was super excited to play a lesbian. I don't know why, I just was. I had never done that before. It was a quick shoot. I think it was only like 2 days, but they had it running kind of similar to like a Law and Order. They knew how things ran. They had it all down, and it was a pleasant set. Everyone was really nice. Yeah, it was a lovely experience. Are you a big Code Black fan?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, no, it was a great show. I was actually really surprised that it didn't last any longer than. I don't know what happened there, but.
It's okay.
It's probably the network. I'm just going to say it's probably the network.
Yeah.
It's usually, let's just always blame the network.
Yeah.
Except for CW, but the other networks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm an author and an editor and a teacher, and so I'm all about story and story structure, and that's one of the things that I've really resonated to about Supernatural. And I'm wondering, for you as an actor, what are kind of the stories that you resonate to, or the storytelling elements that you find most fascinating when you're considering what role to take or what character to play?
It kind of piggybacks a little bit on what I was saying before. I think it's it's what the character learns through their story, what changes, what makes them change their mind about things, what shifts in their growth, and how they relate to other people or to themselves. I think that's the most exciting thing. Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of the same answer as before, but it's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I was a big fan of The Night Shift. And when I saw you, I was like, I know her. What was that like?
Oh, that was actually a really special job for me, because I had just had a baby 10 weeks before that. And Hollywood, really makes you feel, and that's not true. I should say I felt nervous about would I still work after I had a kid? Would I be able to get jobs? All of a sudden I look 5 years older than I did the year before. Truly, I did. It was amazing. After 2 years of not sleeping, you really age. And so that job was just like, oh, no, I can still do this, okay. And so my husband and I flew to Albuquerque, and my son was 10 weeks, so I just like popped into the trailer and fed him, and then go back to set. And it was great because I was working with a child actor, so we only did one scene a day. We had 5 scenes together, but we had to shoot 1 a day because the kids can only be on set for like, I don't know, not that long. So it ended up being perfect in my situation where I had my 10-week-old. So it was a really great experience in like reaffirming that that I can do this, you know? So I think that was like what I mostly got out of that experience. Yeah, thank you.
Because I'm a big fan of a lot of the cast members, which is how I got to start watching it. So I was just curious what it felt like to be on set with all of them.
I mean, I worked with Robert Bailey. That was, he's wonderful, by the way. He's incredibly nice and a like very giving actor. So he was wonderful to work with. And I didn't really, was it Jill? I had a little bit with Jill. And I've liked Jill for a long time. She's an incredible actress. Even sometimes when I go in for roles, I'm like, oh, this is like something Jill could do. So it kind of gives me an idea of the essence of I'm like, oh, okay. Like she's so talented. But yeah, I only had like 1 line with her, so I didn't really, you know, you just pop in and out. Sometimes you don't get to experience all of the awesome actors, but yeah, it was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys, no one has any other questions? Last chance. Going once. Yes.
What was it like? Hey, look, it's Michael Borja about to take the stage.
What? Hi. I guess I'm done. But wait, we have one more question. She just raised her hand. What was the question?
What was it like for you to work on Stargate?
Oh, Stargate was awesome. Yeah, Stargate, I also got to die twice. I love dying twice, I guess. Okay, I guess I'm done.
Hold on, because I don't know if this question got asked, so if I'm repeating it, so be it. But seriously, Doom Patrol, are you loving it? Is it a great experience?
Yes, 100%.
I mean, I haven't spoken to Julie in years and years, and suddenly I'm texting her consistently because I love that show, and she's great in it.
The weird thing is he still hasn't seen the show, but it's a great excuse to text you, Julie.
Pity for your thoughts, Julie, on a show I've never seen. No, it's so great. And
no, we talked about how it's basically, what the coolest thing about it is that you can do whatever the fuck you want and it works.
Yeah.
Like, I existed in a donkey's ass.
You did, and then on the show.
On the show, you also...
That's where we both moved the same job. Totally. Oh, man.
Yeah, some of that too, yeah.
Let's hear about your personal life.
Yeah.
We don't often get to...
The really embarrassing part is not you and the doggy's ass, it's the fact that you and I are like in sync. Spending too much time together. It's so awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the Vegas experience.
Thank you so much.